Good afternoon, Pallav. Jishan, Amruta, Sudhanshu, come on camera. Saksham, Rishabh, Saili, Yesha, Apurva.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Just a minute.
Okay. So, Saksham, Astha, Anshika, Alok, Rajib, Nisha. Okay. So, all set for the presentations?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sushant, how many groups we have?
Ma'am, we have 9 groups.
We have 9 groups.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Really?
Yes, ma'am. 6 individuals in every group,
Okay.
and we have a total of 55 students.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So then 15 minutes maximum for each presentation. 15.
Ma'am, we have 8 participants in our group, ma'am.
Okay. You have 8 and थोड़ा सा हम 5 मिनट उनको ज़्यादा थे. Okay. Okay. I need all.
Hello, ma'am.
Everybody to be on camera. Yes, Alok.
Ma'am, can you take our group first, because actually traveling. Hello.
Yes, Alok. Come again.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, now you are. Yes.
I can go first.
You want to go first? Your group wants to go first?
Yeah, actually, I'm traveling.
Okay. So just put your names in the chat box so that we know which group wants to go first. We can have a sequence here. Alok's group is first. Anybody else?
Ma'am, group 1 will go second.
Anshika, okay.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
third
we'll go
number.
third.
Third.
कौन है?
Go third.
Group 4.
Anuj, then किसने बोला था? Gaurav.
Yes, ma'am.
फिर सुशांत.
Ma'am, Gaurav and Shan same group.
Gaurav and सुशांत same है. Okay. फिर कौन है जल्दी? Yesha and then Akanksha. Akanksha, Yesha एक ही group में नहीं हो ना?
No.
Once याद रखना है because see we have 2 sessions today and we will try to finish as सीक्वेंस दे दो एंड आई विल ऑफ दिस एंड सुशांत आप भी एक पिक्चर ले लेना तो इवन जब हम सेशन बंद करते हैं तो इवन आफ्टर दैट वी हैव द सीक्वेंस इन आवर विद अस सो व्हाट अबाउट द अदर ग्रुप्स अगर दे बताते हो तो अभी सीक्वेंस बता दो अगर हमको आज खत्म करना पड़ा कहीं पे तो वी विल कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम देयर इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास इसके बाद कौन सा ग्रुप है नो Okay, Alok, your group can go ahead. I want everybody to be on camera, even if your presentation is not going on. सब लोग camera पे चाहिए. I am going to go through these presentations again. Go through the recording. Okay? And one important thing I would want to observe is कि मेरी audience कितनी active है, कितना camera पे है. This presentation is not only about the presenting group. Because that would happen only once throughout the entire session for you. But all other times you are sitting in audience and you need to play the role of the audience also very well. So presentations hone ke baad, I would want a discussion. Jisme I want inputs from audience also. And I'm sure the kind of inputs and all you have shown earlier, I definitely am sure that we will get really good participation from this class. Okay. Sharing rights now. Alok, who is sharing screen? And I need somebody to keep time. Nisha, are you in the same group? No, right? So can you guys keep time? 15 minutes, just let them know. 5 minutes grace हम दे सकते हैं additional. अगर 15 minutes नहीं होता, then 5 minutes उसके बाद में you need to wind up all the groups. Huh?
Okay, ma'am.
5 minutes, a little more for the one that has more than 8 people.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Alok.
Actually, one of our group member is yet to join. So group 1 can go first and then we will go.
Okay. Anshika, your group is ready?
Yes, ma'am. Just a second. Ma'am, just a second. Can I call Pratna?
Yeah.
Ma'am, we can start.
आलोक
Okay,
ready?
start. You people start.
ठीक है तो
Okay,
आलोक
okay. Group me.
then start.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, yes, Alok, can hear you. Everybody else from Alok's group,
Alok, your voice is lagging.
Pranali, you are in the same
Yes,
group.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Everybody is here, no? तो कौन start करने वाला है? Alok start करने वाला है क्या presentation?
No, ma'am. Ujjwal is gonna start, but who I like screen sharing का थोड़ा problem आ रहा है, so we are taking a minute.
Hello, ma'am.
Kinnari,
Yes, ma'am. Can we go next?
can we go?
Hitansh had a word with you, right?
Sorry,
Ma'am, can we go next?
which group is this? ये जो मैंने list लिखा है,
It's my group, ma'am.
कि उसके बाद you want to go
It's
next.
my group, ma'am.
Sorry?
She's yeah.
So you're already sequence में हो ना?
Yeah, but ma'am, if there are people facing issues, can we go ahead? Because Gitansh is really unwell. He won't be there for too long.
Okay, Akanksha, go ahead. Go ahead.
That
Go
is
ahead.
in your group, Akanksha.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, fair enough. So you can we let them do the presentation first? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, I'll be sharing the screen.
Shall we begin?
Nisha, you're keeping time now.
Yes, ma'am.
Is the screen visible?
It is.
Oh, ma'am, just a minute. I think Megha is facing some internet issues.
One of you can take for her also. If she's not able to join, then can continue the presentation. If she can take her part, that is also okay. She can then later join it.
Ma'am, can group 1 start in conclusion if Megha is
Ma'am,
there?
if we are ready, our internet is absolutely fine. If we can
Yes,
go ahead, we
ma'am,
can
same
do
with us.
Ma'am, she's joining in a second again.
Hello. Megha, you're there? Am I audible? So we'll do this now. Once we have the sequence in place, we'll go by this. But remember, presentations, audience where you need to be there. Okay, so it's not that your presentation is over and then you go, then you will not get marks for the presentation also. That be very clear to everybody. Okay, so if there is an issue that yes, you're not well and all, and then you want to present first, I understand. बट दिस इज नॉट इट दैट मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन खत्म करके मैं चला गया, मुझे वो फील होगा तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू कंसिडर द प्रेजेंटेशन, दैट आई एम वेरी क्लियर ऑन. ये याद रखो एवरीबडी, दिस फॉर एवरीबडी. जिन लोगों को है ना कि हम पहले, तो मैं बता दूं बड़ा क्लियरली कि सिर्फ प्रेजेंटेशन करना इज नॉट योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. आई टोटली कैंसिल इट इफ आई सी दैट आप लोग ऑडियंस में से गायब हो गए और पार्टिसिपेट भी नहीं किए उसके बाद. ठीक है ना? हाँ. सो नाउ दैट वी हैव टेकन दिस, लेट्स डू विद दिस प्रेजेंटेशन. द ओनली थिंग इज अगर कोई बंदा इंटरनेट से या कहीं से नॉट एबल टू, देन द ग्रुप हैज टू बी at that time you have to think on the feet and take the presentation forward. ये एक हमेशा से अभी अपने को रूल बनाना पड़ेगा कि भाई अगर 4-5 लोग में से एक भी नहीं है कोई भी रीजन से, तो उसके बिना बैकअप होना चाहिए कि भाई हाँ हम ये कैरी फॉरवर्ड कर लेंगे. इंटरनेट इश्यूज है तो भी इट शुड बी देयर कि भाई हाँ चलो नहीं है तो कोई ना कोई और क्लास में से उसका पार्ट ले ले. या सो दिस ग्रुप, कैन यू डू दैट? If you don't have the person who was supposed to start for whatever reason, it is okay.
Here.
Who's that?
Megha.
Megha. Okay. Then continue, Megha. Where are you?
Shall we start? Okay.
Yeah.
A very warm good afternoon, one and all present here. I would like to, before starting the presentation, I would like to thank Tasneem ma'am for giving us this opportunity. The movie we have selected for this presentation is Sher. Next slide, please. Okay, so our team consists of Himanshu, me Megha Srivastav, Gitansh, Akanksha and Kinnari. Next slide please. Okay, Shesha is a biopic on the heroic life of a 25-year-old brave Indian soldier Vikram Batra. So the reason behind choosing this movie for the presentation is it has motivated us in its own way. It's a very inspiring movie and the youth of India and everyone, I believe, is very much inspired by watching this movie. So Vikram Batra was also given the Paramveer Chakra for his outstanding courage, steadfast resolve, leadership and supreme sacrifice. Now I would hand over to my dear friend for the next slide. Thank you.
Thank you, Megha. So I will be giving a gist about the movie. Sher Shah is a biographical war film on the hero Vikram Batra, who is a Paramveer Chakra awardee. So his brother actually narrates the film, his twin brother, whose name is Vishal Batra. In one of his talk shows, he talks about his brother's life story. So he starts off with telling everybody about how when Vikram was a young boy, one of the days he was playing cricket and he gets into an argument and in a fight with elder teenage boys, showing bravery and fearlessness, which otherwise children don't show. And he was also very ambitious and inspired about joining the Indian Army. So at the age of 23, he joined the Indian Army as a lieutenant at the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, 13th Battalion, Delta Company. So he was in very good relations with his army team members and even the localites outside. So one of the days they were on rounds when they faced a terrorist attack and he disobeyed the orders of his CO, Jimmy. So because he disobeyed the orders, it ended up saving his CO's life, which led to very good relations between them later on. So then when he returned back home to the base camp, he receives a letter from his girlfriend, Dimple. So Kiara Advani plays the role of Dimple Chima, and they go on a flashback where they show their love story, how, you know, their dating years were formed, and he asks for her hand to her father, and the father refuses the proposal because they belong to different castes. So to impress the father, he decides to stop chasing his dreams and join the merchant navy for a higher salary. But then his friend Sunny, he convinces him not to do that. He convinces him to chase his own dreams. And if your love is true, you know, it'll stick around. So this causes a lot of fights between Dimple and Vikram. But then he goes ahead with his dream and he joins the army. So back in the present day, they happen to capture the terrorist leader Haider, one of his men. So in retaliation of capturing his men, Haider strikes another terrorist attack at their team, where Vikram Batra loses a lot of his his colleagues, and he loses one of his dearest friends, Subedar. And he was so full of vengeance at that time and anger, and he was so emotionally upset that people under his guidance died. that he sought to find this Haider guy, and he, with his contacts with the localites in the area, he finds out that a lot of local young boys are being converted into terrorists. They are being brainwashed. So he tracks down Haider, and he leads the operation, and he kills Haider in his own house. After this, he goes on vacation where he secretly marries Dimple. And while all this is going on, the army general, he leads this operation of capturing Kashmir. And he orders all the army troops, the Pakistani army troops, to go and capture all the mountain peaks at Kargil. And when all this news is spreading around, Vikram gets to know about it. So he cuts short his vacation and he decides to go back. So when he returns back, the 13th battalion is shifted to a base camp for acclimatization of the climate area and training. And while they are training, the Pakistani army troops strike an attack again at their base camp, where a lot of casualties take place. He loses his senior and dear friend, Major Jasprit. So they go ahead with the operation. One of the teams was led by him, where his code name was Sher Shah. And his radio victory code was Ye Dil Mange More. And he led his operation. They managed to capture point 5120 without any casualties on their point. And because of this victory, he was promoted to Captain Vikram Batra. And the very next day, they were planning to get another operation in hand to capture point 4875, which is the highest point, and capturing this point would mean victory for India. So he really wanted to be a part of this plan, and he requests his senior to go ahead with it. And he does so, but a lot of casualties took place on their end. There were some 5 bunkers, and the 5th one they were unaware of. They took down 4 bunkers, but the 5th one was camouflaged, and there was a sniper. So he took down Vikram Batra, but while he was succumbing to his injuries, he saw his Indian flag being raised at that point, and he died happily. But then they show his funeral at Palampur, where he's being awarded the Paramveer Chakra. And his family is, they are upset, but they're also so proud of their son. And it's such a motivating, inspiring film. So that's the gist about it. Over to you, Kinnari.
Thank you so much, Akansha. Good afternoon. I am Kinnari, and I'm going to continue with rational and irrational belief. So let's understand what is rational and irrational belief. Rational belief are defined as the beliefs that are flexible, non-extreme, and logical beliefs. They are based on what is most likely to work. People who follow these principles are more likely to achieve their goals. Basically, they are self-helping goals. And the second one is irrational belief. They are defined as the beliefs that are rigid, extreme, and illogical. They contain unrealistic expectations and are often most unlikely to work and are self-harming. Next slide, please. So now let's see the rational beliefs in the movie itself. So the first one is Vikram Batra's passion towards joining the Indian Army since childhood. It took 23 years to achieve his goal, and finally he started his journey as a lieutenant in 13th Battalion Jammu and Kashmir Rifles. Second one is belief of soldiers in God. A positive belief that God will be with them when they serve and fight for the country. Third one is Vikram Batra's belief in principle that attacking is the best way to defend your enemy. And it is the fact that during the war, you can't show mercy towards your enemies. Fifth one is belief of being a good soldier. When Vikram Batra was fighting for the mission to kill Haider, he believed that there will be no casualties in their camp, and he proved so. He used to follow the simple philosophy that if you are a soldier, live by chance, love by choice, and kill by profession. Sixth one is, if you are so sure about something, listen to your intuition rather than waiting for the command. So there was a scene in the movie where Vikram got to know about the Haider. Haider was basically the Pakistani men who used to manipulate Kashmiri children to work for them. He informed his senior and went for the mission to kill Haider. So when they went for the mission, they were commanded not to go inside the house as they were not so sure about the information that Heather is inside or not. But then too, Vikram decided to go for the same as he got the strong intuition that he is in and they can't miss the chance to kill him. So he did that with his team and found Heather and killed him successfully. Seventh one is belief of Vikram Batra to become a soldier and serve for his country. When their company successfully completed the mission .5140 and Vikram got the title of captain because of the victory, after that they were told to rest and not to go for the another mission that was .4875 that was yet to happen. But Vikram requested his senior to let his company give a chance and he wanted to finish this war. And he also said that ye dil mange more, sir, and I wanted to do this mission. Eighth one is they successfully completed the mission, but Vikram died, and his brother believed that it's okay if the age is small, but the life should be big. Nothing is bigger than the pride and honor of a soldier. Thank you.
Neri, you're not on camera.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Pinari. Coming to irrational belief. Shifting his career for love. When Batra and Dimple start dating, they decided to get married. However, Dimple's father refuses to accept Batra. To please her dad, Batra decided to give up his army dream and join the merchant navy for a higher salary. And second one, killing and manipulating and brainwashing of innocent children. Heather tries to manipulate and brainwash of innocent children, and when he got to know that the children are helping Indian army, the Heather killed all the 4 children. Believe that Indians are weak and they won't defend their country. The Pakistani believe that Indians are too weak and they can't defend their countries. Fourth one, believe that they can capture Kashmir. In Rawalpindi, Pakistan General Pervez began an offensive to capture Kashmir and sent troops to occupy mountains peak in Kargil. Fifth one, believe that there will be no casualty when they are attacking a strategy. Indians believe that there will be no casualty while fighting with Pakistani, but during the war, there are many soldiers killed by the Pakistan. And over to you, Mega. Thank you.
Thank you, Himanshu. So finally, we would conclude by mentioning that we have seen many rational and irrational beliefs which are there in this movie. As we all must have noticed that the rational beliefs are comparatively much more compared to the irrational beliefs. It was seen that Vikram Datta has proved himself and has sacrificed his life for killing the Pakistani troops and recapturing that point. He has showed what he mentioned, that ye dil mange more. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, this was the first presentation and definitely very well done. In fact, I would give them a big hand, proper big hand, rather than this is something that we miss these days. Literally class में ताली बजाना वो तो पता नहीं अभी कब होगा, right? Okay, one more thing for all the groups जो मैं अभी बता रही हूँ जो करना है सबको. So at the end of the session जब last part होगा ना, सब few minutes, each group will sing a song, a rational song of that movie together as a group. ये prepare करके रखो आप लोग, इसलिए मैंने अभी आपको थोड़ा time दे दिया है. अभी नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि अभी गाना गाओ, ठीक है? But at the end,
Ma'am, what if there is no song in the film?
Then you find some another song which.
Zoom can ban us.
Huh?
Zoom can ban us.
No, nobody can ban us. Okay, उसका guarantee मैं I will take. Okay, so गाना है पूरे group को मिलके, एक बंदा नहीं गाएगा, पूरा group को गाना है. तो this is something that you remember. आप plan करो कौन सा गाना है, rational idea आना चाहिए उसमें majorly. जो movie आपने select किया, it is a tribute to that movie. Okay, so great job done, group. Kinnari and Megha and Gitanj and all. So good presentation. Audience, हम 2 या 3 प्रेजेंटेशन पहले करते थे, then audience together I need inputs from you, so do remember, ये आपका responsibility है as an audience to remember, and we'll do one more presentation and we'll do a little bit of discussion after that. Okay, Alok, your group is there now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you go next?
Yes. Just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah. Anshika, can you keep time for this group?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
We'll wait for 2 more minutes, and then if not, then we will move to the next group, okay?
Sorry, ma'am. You can go ahead. There's some screen sharing issue.
Anshika?
Yes, ma'am. Group 1. Oh, okay.
Okay, then Shivang, you please keep the time for this.
Ma'am, Shivam is in our group.
Shivang is not there, no? Shivang Alok के group में शायद.
Yes, ma'am.
Shivang, आप time रखोगे please?
Yes,
15 minutes, yeah?
15 minutes. Okay.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, Anshika. So, good afternoon, one and all present in the meeting. My name is Shivam, and the movie which gonna be present today is Dear Zindagi. So, before heading towards the presentation, I would like you to meet my team members, Anshika, me, Praveen, Pallav, Matthew, and Pratna. So, we are presenting the movie Dear Zindagi. So, Dear Zindagi is such movie which gives you lot of answer relating to the lot of relationship around you. So no matter if it is romantic relationship, relationship with your parents, relationship with your friends. So this is the whole idea about the movie, to help you out from the difficult situations from your relationships. So heading towards the story of the movie. But prior to that, I would like to introduce the star cast of the movie, who is Alia Bhatt and Dr. Shah Rukh Khan. So moving to the story. So this movie is all about a girl, Kaira, who is a professional cinematography, lives in Mumbai, chasing her dreams, but having difficulties in relationship. She is serious about her goal, her dream, but she doesn't have a strong hand in her relationship. No matter if it's her romantic relationship, is her family relationship. She thinks like being in relationship will stop her to chase her dreams. So in this situation, while working, she met Raghu, who is a producer in lot of her projects. They both get into the relationship. Raghu was serious about the relationship, but Kaira, Alia Bhatt, was not serious about the relationship. And due to sudden breakup, Alia Bhatt or Kaira was mentally disturbed. She was going through the depression. She was doing such thing which normal people you can't even imagine. She used to broke the pickle bottle, written the name of her ex. So this was the thing which she was doing. At that particular point of time, she observed that the society is not accepting the people who are mentally disturbed. even now, if we see, our society doesn't accept the people who are mentally disturbed. So in this situation of the life, at this point of life, she met a Dimag ka doctor, who is Dr. Jahangir Khan, who is played by Dr. Shah Rukh Khan. So in this situation, she met a doctor, and here Dr. Jahangir Khan has given such a beautiful solution to every of his problem. And Dr. Jahangir Khan was known for treating his patient in such a way, like we will get to know in the further presentation. So this is all about a summary of the movie, the summary of the story of Kyra, and how she was suffering from a problem and how she get out of those problems. Now I would request Prabmeet to take over from here.
Thank you so much, Shivam. Now we will see the irrational beliefs. Basically, irrational beliefs are those beliefs which are not supported by any logic. So there's a scene when Alia Bhatt says कि parents से duty निभाने के लिए हर 2 महीने में जाके चेहरा दिखाना पड़ता है. She referred to this as a duty. So in a way, she went too extreme to referring this as a duty. And later on, we see that she is so happy that because of work she's not going to she can avoid this. If she refers as a duty, then you can't avoid any duty, which in a way proves it to be very irrational. Next slide. Yeah, so there's a scene when she breaks up with her boyfriend. So she said that she's not affected by it. She says okay, but later on you can see that she's drinking. She's getting intoxicated, and so that whole scene refers as that you can avoid, or you can avoid your feelings by getting intoxicated, which I feel is very irrational, and which nowadays people believe that to be that if you want to avoid your feelings, or if you want to celebrate something, you should get intoxicated, which is a very irrational belief, and is getting common day by day, and we can see it in our daily lives also. So now I would like to invite Anshika to take up from here.
So when she breaks up with Raghuvendra, so thank you, Prameet, first of all. So when she breaks up with Raghuvendra, so her friend suggests her that the first condition to be married is the guy that should be good looking, so that when you wake up in the morning, you do not see an ugly face. She says her so that she can accept Raghuvendra as her boyfriend when when she was not ready to commit. So she gives a very wrong message here that the person should be good looking and everything. So we cannot judge people on the basis of their looks. When we actually like the person, we do not see how good looking he is, or how even if the person is good looking, it's not very sure that the person is good from within. So this is a very wrong message that was given. So the next thing was breaking things or harming yourself can make you feel better when you are heartbroken. So when she heard about about the engagement of her boyfriend, she started breaking things, and she started eating chilies to make herself feel better, because she didn't wanted to cry. She just wanted to pour out that anger on things. So this was also a wrong message, because eventually when we see the movie and we see these things can actually make us strong, so we try to suppress our emotions too by doing these things. So this was also a wrong message given to us. So now I would like to hand over to Pallav.
Thank you, Anshika. So at the end of the movie, it has a message that everything falls back into the place like every people wanted. Like in every movie, it is shown that happy ending, and you believe that happily ever after is the key term every
Hello.
movie has to show. Yes. And should I continue?
Continue.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, the last irrational belief in the movie is that they are living happily ever after, and we all know that in everyone's life there is something or the other going on, and we cannot overcome that till the end of the life. It's all about the life we live in, and the difficulties we face, the situations arises in our life is very unpredictable. And in the movie also, it is shown that uh, things are going in the hands of Kyra, and she is willing to overcome her situations and obstacles she is facing in life. But the main motto of the movie is to show that you can overcome the challenges which is coming in your way, and you can also uh, be that much confident, and be that much helpful to yourself also in overcoming the obstacles you are going to face in life. So now we'll look at the rational belief of the movie. Uh, when we grow up, or when we are in schools also and colleges, we become mature day by day, and we start thinking that making a lot of friends and lot of contacts does not always help you to gain some inner peace. And when you share something to a single person, you get happy, and when you share the same thing to other person, you probably does not get that much of satisfaction in your side. And other rational belief shows that the quality of friends is very important, as in the movie also mentioned that it does not matter that you know thousands of people and they did not know you from inside, and they can't be helpful to you whenever you need in life. But if you have a quality of friends, you have one or two friends who listens to you, who understands your pain, and wherever their need is required, they are ready to help you. So the main thing of the movie is that, and so I will hand over the slide to Matthew.
Thank you, Pallav. Moving on to some more learnings that we can get from this movie. Grieving is completely okay. You deserve to feel everything. Never be embarrassed about your grief. So, as Dr. Jahangir says, grief is a natural process. So, usually we share happy thoughts with other people, but we never share our grief. We always keep grief to ourselves. But that is something that we should share, not with everybody, but people who can help us, our close friends, our loved ones. And grief is something you should never be embarrassed about. You have to get out of that grief as soon as possible, and you need people around you who can help you get out of that grief. And you have to also cope with the grief. And grief can be in any form. So it is of a wrong belief that you only have to grieve for certain things. Like, for example, people grieve about deaths, which is something very serious. But people can also grieve about something like retirement, which is not as serious. So you don't have to grieve about anything in particular, any certain events. Next slide, please. In a society that's always ready to judge you, stop judging people. So people are always experts at giving gyan, and this is the gyan that they don't follow themselves. And society is always going to judge you based on preconceived notions that they have set for men and for women. But that is something you should not let you should not let that bog you down with their judgment. Don't let them fade your confidence away, and you should be confident in the decisions that you make. So, as we see in the movie, Alia Bhatt or Kyra has trust and commitment issues from the time she was a child, and that has also led to having an effect in her love life as well. And things were very, very haywire until she met Dr. Jangir, who changed her complete perspective. Thank you. Moving on to Pratna for the next slide.
Thank you, Matthew. So, parents are people too, and they deserve a second chance. So, since we have a relationship, since they are our parents, our relationship that we have with them, we expect them to fix every single shortcoming that comes our way. But if we manage to see beyond our relationship that we have with our parents, that they are our parents, they are also people, and since they are people, there'll be time that they make mistakes. It is, as children, it is also our job to understand that they are people, they'll make mistakes, and they deserve a second chance too, to fix what they've done. If there's anything that they have done and it hurts me or hurts, in this instance, Alia Bhatt, um, it was her job to communicate it so that they fix it and they have a second chance to do what is right. Moving on, you will go through many partners to find one that aren't that is meant to I'm sorry, to find the one who you are meant to spend your life with, and that does not make you a slut. So we keep ourselves, we give ourselves a lot of pressure in order to find the right partner or that perfect one. But in this the thing that we are doing, the thing that we want perfection, we do not usually look that when we look for friends. We accept them the way they are. And this in this journey to find the one, we might not be happy with our current partner, and we feel like it's not meant to be, and we want to move on to a different person and give ourselves another chance to be happy. It does not make you a slut, it just makes you human. So thank you everyone. Now to conclude, we would be now looking at this video, the 15 life lessons that we get from Dear Zindagi.
Time up.
Okay, thank you, Shiva.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can continue. You can finish the video.
You can continue.
Anshika, share the audio also.
Yeah, if there is an audio here, I think.
जगह शेयर स्क्रीन पे ना राइट क्लिक कर, वहां पे आएगा ऑप्शन टू शेयर साउंड.
वापस बोल.
शेयर स्क्रीन जहाँ पे किया है ना, वहीं पे राइट साइड उसको राइट क्लिक कर, वहां पे ऑप्शन आएगा टू शेयर द साउंड.
Anshika, let it be. Play the video only.
Full screen if you can. If it is too long, then you can run it off. Okay, yeah. Does give us a good idea about what you're trying to say. Okay, my audience, Give me some inputs about both the presentation. Sudhanshu, Yesha, Gaurav, off camera. Anuj.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, next हम जाए.
पहले जरा inputs मुझे देंगे आप first दो presentation में. Presentations का audience का काम करेंगे थोड़ा. अनुज आपसे ही पहला input चाहिए.
Ma'am, the presentation was very good. सबने अच्छा अपना part well explain किया, and I also like that 15 जो quote वाला था, थोड़ा समझ नहीं आया but अच्छा था, सब अच्छा था.
नहीं सब अच्छा था. जरा specific याद करके बताओ. मुझे first presentation के बारे में पहला कुछ याद करके बताओ.
हाँ मैम, फर्स्ट प्रेजेंटेशन में जो रैशनल में लास्ट था कि एक कोट था कि देयर इज नो सच एन ऑनर टू बी अ सोल्जर वाला, वो वाला अच्छा था. एंड मूवी भी वेल एक्सप्लेन थी. एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट इज मैम जो आपने बताया कि आफ्टर प्रेजेंटेशन वी हैव टू सिंग अ सॉन्ग, दैट वाज इट.
Okay. Anybody else? Dhanashri, some inputs from you.
Yes ma'am, about the first movie what I was thinking कि जो last line जो use किया था उन लोगों ने, ये दिल मांगे मोर, मतलब हर मूवी का एक ऐसा लाइन होता है जिसमें पूरा स्टोरी रिवॉल्व होता है. जैसे उस मूवी में शेरशाह में द मेन थीम वाज अराउंड कि व्हाट सोल्जर इज ट्राइंग, मतलब वो हमेशा ये चाह रहा था कि कुछ ज्यादा करे. तो मुझे लगता है हर मूवी में एक ऐसा लाइन होता है जिसके अराउंड पूरी मूवी घूमती है.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, before we move on to the next presentation, one thing I want to tell you all कि आप अपने presentation के लिए जो इतना stress लेके बैठे हो, just give away that stress. Okay, it is just like you're talking to us and talking about a movie. It's not some formal presentation. I want you to act very normally even when you are a part of the audience. Audience के part को हम इतना side में ले रखे, हम इतने दिमाग में यही है कि भाई मेरा presentation हो जाए. इसीलिए I think a few of you are also wanting कि हम लोग का पहले हो जाए. Because वो एक mode है जिसमें आप रहते हो, तो you are just stuck on your work कि कैसे present करेंगे, कैसे होगा, कुछ सही होगा, नहीं होगा. Please come out of that zone.
Another thing about the first presentation about the Shesha, they talked multiple times about the casualties in the war. But any soldier, if he goes into war or join the soldier, there's always in the mind that we are gonna die or we can die. Every soldier, it's not that they think that I'm gonna survive all the wars and everything. They have always this in mind that they might die, and irrespective of all those things, they still go to those horrible things. And another thing, ma'am, Shersa code name was not chosen by the Bikram Batra, it was given by the Pakistani soldiers.
Okay. One thing that you liked about that presentation, can you tell us?
Mostly the way they presented, explained the mindset of the people.
Okay, great. Yes, the way they carried out the flow, that was good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, ma'am, I want to give some input in second presentation. Although second presentation, the rational belief and rational belief was amazingly explained, but I want to give some input in the irrational belief, like when Kaira visit their parents' home, they believe that that cinematography is not a stable career. They believe that, but it is actually not. First one, and the second one is they also believe that a girl should settle. If the girl is not willing to settle, they are questioning about their sexuality. First one, like they asked about what is the word, like Lebanese. They even can't pronounce the right word. And the third one is they believe that in film industry LGBTQ community sab chalta hai, but which is actually not. The thing is ki film industry doesn't hold any orthodox mentality. So these 3 points I want to conclude in this.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing that out. Yes, that movie is definitely see, whenever you will see a movie, they would want to show both the sides of the coin. Na? अगर वो एक
Yes,
message
ma'am.
दे रहे हैं, तो they will show you कि what is something which is not helpful. They always show. So
Yes, ma'am.
yes, that is beautifully shown in the movie to bring out that idea कि ये गलतफहमियां लोगों को है. These are
हाँ,
beliefs
yes, ma'am.
they carry. And I really love the way the group you picked
Yes,
out
ma'am.
rational and irrational beliefs. बहुत अच्छे से निकाले हैं. I mean, definitely जो typical Bollywood movie का होता है ना, that typical happy ending, everything is good after the ending and all. वो काफी अच्छे से लेके आए. That was good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Anuj, your group wants to go next without all the stress. आराम से, शांति से. Okay. Bhairavi, can you keep the time here?
Ma'am, in the same
Ma'am,
group. She's in our group.
Okay, Virender,
Yes, ma'am.
and सब लोग कैमरा पे आ जाओ. सुधांशु, प्रार्थना, don't go off camera. I'm going to undo mark cross on your presentation अगर मुझे आप लोग का audience में participation video और नहीं दिखा. ये याद रखो सब लोग. हाँ, yes, Saili, go ahead.
Ma'am, can we go ahead?
Yes.
So a warm good afternoon to everyone, and I would like to thank Tasneem ma'am for giving us this opportunity. So we are group number 4, and I, Saili, along with my fellow team members, Anuj, Bhairavi, Dharmit, Deepika, Nisha, and Rituja, will be presenting on the movie analysis. So now the movie that we have selected is basically, it relates closely to students. It resonates very well with students. Can any one of you all guess which movie? I'll give you 3 hints. An emergency plane landing, ICE, and Ladakh.
3 Idiots. 3 Idiots.
That's right. All is well. So the movie is 3 Idiots, and the movie basically revolves around 3 college-going students who are labeled as idiots. So the first idiot is Rancho, and the character is played by Mr. Perfectionist Amir Khan. The next idiot is Farhan Qureshi. The character is played by R. Madhavan. Sharma Joshi plays the character of the third idiot, that is Raju Rastogi. Pia, which is played by Kareena Kapoor Khan, is the love interest of Rancho. Baman Irani plays the role of Viru Sahasrabuddhe or Virus. He's called Virus fondly by the students, and he's the dean of IC, that is Imperial College of Engineering, where the 3 idiots are enrolled with. He's a man of values. The next character which is important in the movie is Chatur Ramalingam, and he is fondly called as Chatur or Silencer. And this character is played by Omi Vaidya. So he's that student in the college who can go to any lengths to excel in his academics and career. Next is the background of the movie. So the movie was released in the year 2009, and it went on to become one of the biggest hit movies of that year. It was released around 156 theaters and went on to earn a revenue worldwide of around 60 million USDs. The movie was written and directed by Rajkumar Hirani and produced by Vidhu Vinod Chopra. This movie was adopted from Chetan Bhagat's best-selling books, 5 Point Someone. It is basically a satire about the social pressures in India and its educational system. This movie became a huge success among college-going students because it predominantly explained the mentality of the students, the societal pressures that they usually are faced with respect to their career choices or with respect to their academic performances. So this was hugely popular among the students. The film also projected about the real life inventions, that the inventions need not be too fancy or too big. It can be made using the resources in your backyard. So this was about the background of the movie. Now I would request Anuj to continue with the presentation.
Thank you, Saili. The movie Three Idiots framed as intermittent flashback from the present day to the nostalgic qualities of the characters and start exact 10 years after Chatur vows revenge on protagonist Rancho. The movie is beautifully narrated through a parallel drama which shows the timeline of past and present. The plot revolves around friendship of 3 engineering students, the dilemma and pressure of average student belonging to modest background. The movie also depicts Rancho's love for engineering and machines,
but his unusual ways of presenting this knowledge irritates the professors. And intimidated by Rancho's talent and his friendship with Farhan and Raju, Viru Shastra Buddhi Virus labeled them as idiots. In contrast, Virus role model student is Chatur Ramalingam Silencer. Chatur considers Rancho as his competition and try all his skills to supersede him in academics. His way of studying are, however, mocked by Rancho. Uh, Towards end of the first half of the movie, Raju and Farhan meet the real Ranchordas Chanchad in Manali. The movie plot also revolves around Rancho's and Pia's love story. In the movie, Rancho helped Raju and Farhan to change their outlook towards life. Rancho persuades Farhan to go after his dreams and convince Raju to help self-belief. Virus, who is unsymptomatic and vows to set a hard paper, is faced with realities about his son dead, but after the birth of his grandchild, when the virus reconciles with Rancho and award him with a special pen. Towards the end of the movie, Chatur, Raju, Farhan, and Pia reach Ladakh and realize that Rancho is actually Funsuk Wangru, a famous scientist. Now, further slides will be continued by Dharmit. Over to you, Dharmit.
Good afternoon. We all know that this movie was a big hit. Why it was big hit? Because there are many relevant things which we can connect with our day-to-day life. And just for the better explanation purpose, in these slides, we have directly put the dialogues of this movie. So coming to the first point, it was पढ़ने के लिए स्कूल का पढ़ने के लिए स्कूल में यूनिफॉर्म नहीं लगता. So what exactly that means is you don't need school uniform, or like you don't need only the money. You just go and take the knowledge and move on. So this is how you should collect the knowledge wherever you get. Now, the second point will be very relevant to all the engineers in the house. So now what happens, whenever our friend is in the any, in a problem, we will always help them. Let it be in terms of academic or any personal stuff. If he get failed, we will feel bad. But if he gets success, and if the success is on a scale where it is more than us, we feel more bad, isn't it? All will agree with my point if I'm not wrong. Now the third is सक्सेस के पीछे मत भागो, एक्सेलेंस का पीछा करो, सक्सेस तुम्हारे पीछे जरूर आएगा. So what does it means? You should acquire all the skills. You should know all the each and every technicalities and move on. Then only we can get the success. Coming to the fourth point, वो काम करो जिसमें तुम्हारा talent है. So you should always follow your passion. The simple example put forth in this movie is that Farhan was interested in wildlife photography. He was pursuing the engineering, but at the simultaneously, when Rancho posted those pictures to his mentor, he selected him just because of his talent. And the fifth point is also something relevant to that. Letter हाथ में था, taxi gate में थी, जरा सी हिम्मत करता तो शायद जिंदगी कुछ और हो सकती थी. Means the point states that you should follow your passion, and whenever life gives you a chance, grab it. Don't fear. We should always give our best shot at the right time. We should never think anything. And the next point, that is, no one can perform excellently under fear and pressure. We have seen two suicidal scenarios in this whole movie. First one is of Joy Lobo, who suicided, who was a talented engineer. He made a drone where there was no trend of that drone in that zone, but still he was a talented person. But just because of the pressure of his academics put by the great virus, he was forced to do that. Coming to the Raju, he was a talented person, but we all know his personal problems. We all know that he struggled a lot. That's why he was under the constant pressure. He used to do puja, artis, and all that. So this is what they are trying to say, that always don't come under the pressure and fear. Just give your best shot. Coming to the last point, ये स्टूडेंट बीमारी से कम और सुसाइड से ज्यादा मरते. ये कॉलेज है, कोई प्रेशर कुकर नहीं. So what exactly point is that in our education in our education, this, like all this education system, what is happening is that there are many loopholes due to which there are no updated academics and all that, and that's why students get pressurized a lot. People who are in the post graduation level, they has a lot of pressures. Considering like our own examples, we are also under the pressure, but we should always make sure that we should not get into this trap and don't take a pressure and just work hard. So that's why people are not able to work hard, and they just get into the pressure and they just go for the easy option, that is suicide, but it gives a lot of scars to their family. Thank you. Now I would like to give my presentation to my colleague Nisha.
Thank you, Dharmit. So I'll carry on with the efforts the whole unit or the cast of Three Idiots have taken in shooting the movie. So the first one is shooting at Ladakh. The end scene of the movie was shot at Ladakh. But at the time when they were shooting, it was winter, and during winter, it was shot at Panglong Lake. So during winter, what happens is the water of the lake freezes and the sand turns white, which became very difficult for the whole unit to shoot there. And all of a sudden, in between their shoot, the whole weather turned out to be cloudy and it started raining. And when in the next morning, they saw themselves under, there was snow everywhere. There was snow of almost 2 feet. So it was very difficult for the unit to escape that area also. They took help from the Tibet police and Air Force to, rescue them. But they were also not able to help them because of the climatic situations. But anyhow, they somehow they came out of that trouble, and they again went there and shot the last scene. So the next one is R. Madhavan's efforts to look young in the movie. R. Madhavan at that point of time was of 40 years, and he was a bit overweight. So it was very difficult for him to look like a 22-year-old young college student. Although he opted for a fit lifestyle, and he also ended up injuring his knee while playing badminton. And he did the whole shoot of Three Idiot wearing a knee cap, a knee protection. So he did the whole shoot like that only. And the next is Ali Fazal, who played the role of Joy Lobo, a passionate engineer. He went into depression after shooting for the movie. He had a very short scene in the movie where he committed suicide. The reason behind his depression was that during that time there was news flashing in the news channels that some of the students have harmed themselves, and Ali Fazal started receiving calls and from reporters asking him that this is the exact role which you have played in the movie, so how are you feeling, what are your views and all. And at that point of time he was also a college student. So all of these things he led to a depressed state of mind and he went to the director, producer, he spoke about these things, and he was then all of these things were controlled by them. Then the next is drunk scene in the movie. So Amir Khan wanted to give a natural touch to the movie, so what he decided is that while shooting for the drunk scene, all three of them will be naturally drunk, and it became very difficult because they were not in a conscious state and they couldn't give the shot at one take, and it took many retakes, and the camera roll was over, and the whole unit had to move to Bangalore to reshoot the scene again. And then at the last, Boman Irani refused to play the role of Virus because he thought that Irfan Khan Khan is appropriate to, you know, play the role of Virus. But then again, the director said that he's too young to play the role of a college dean, and it took a lot of effort for the whole unit, director, producer, everyone to, you know, make him agree to the role of Virus. Yeah. So the next slide will be carried out by Deepika. Thank you.
So your time is up, so you like to conclude in 5 minutes, huh? Deepika, and then anybody else is left?
यस मैम, अभी तो बहुत लंबी है.
5 मिनट में खत्म करो.
ठीक है मैम, इट्स ओके. सो थैंक यू.
Deepika, you are on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Nisha. So now let's talk about some meaningful scenes from the movie that reflects the rational beliefs. Of course, there were many, but we'll talk about few of them. And the first one here is Farhan and Rencho helped Raju to come out of the depression. So I read out somewhere else. There's a perfect saying: once you choose hope, anything is possible. So Farhan and Rencho helped Raju and raise hope of living in him when he was lying on bed. And Raju's lying on bed or falling from the building was not only the depression on him, but the pressure of his father's treatment, his sister's wedding, also puts him into the depression as well. And because of this, he used to wear the rings in his hands. So Farhan and Raju helped him to believe in himself and sit in the interview without wearing rings. So the second one is Farhan following his passion was another meaningful scene in the movie. He tries to explore himself and spark his interest into his passion, that was photography. And third one is the special pen gifted to Rancho for his excellence. What he did at the end of the movie was actually requires a lot of courage and mindfulness as well. Songs, All Is Well and Give Me Some Sunshine. I think every one of us believes the healing power of music. Story behind All Is Well is that no matter how difficult the situation is, just don't lose heart, don't lose hope. You will come out of any situation with a smiling face. And the last one, Draw Innovation by Joy Lobo and Virus Generator using car battery innovated by Rencho was shows their excellence and innovative skills. They were pursuing their degree, but they were also exploring themselves and using their efforts to innovate something new. Now I request Rituja to continue from here.
Thank you, Deepika. Coming to irrational behavior, the first point, it states that at the end of the movie, Javed claims that he is Rancho by showing the photo frame that was on the wall. And by the end, he speaks the truth that Rancho is his name and the degree was brought by Amir. Hence, Amir had a successful career, but without degree, that was not at all logical enough. Coming to the second point, it describes that just because Joy's innovation in drone was not prioritized before his deadlines by the director, this is demotivating, and Raju is caught in a situation wherein director asked him to choose between a restitution letter to his parents or blamed the Rancho for last night incident. This is highly toxic because suicide should not be an option in any term. Coming to the third point, what I believe is people should discuss about suicide as it will reduce the number of cases for sure. I mean, they should discuss about their problems uh, because not talking to anyone can de-stress the pressure. Coming to the fourth point, it states that Farhan in the beginning was not at all interested in engineering, but because of his family pressure, he started. But in the end semester, he dropped because Rancho posted his letter and got selected as an assistant wildlife photographer. This makes no sense for wasting almost 4 years of his career growth. Coming to fifth point, in the start of the movie, when Raju and Farhan talk, so they travel from Delhi to integrated campus of College of Engineering. From there, they go to Shimla, then Ladakh, then again they go to Manali, then again they come back to Ladakh. It means that they can't travel in a single. Yes, ma'am. Because when the because in the noon, so it seems illogical to travel all these destinations in a single day. Over to you, Bhairavi.
Thank you, Rutuja. Okay, so now continuing with the irrational points. First, I would like to go upon with the occupation based on gender. What Vaman said when Muna was pregnant, he directly said that agar ladka hua, to engineering and ladki hui to doctor, which is very much illogical, and discrimination comes up in between gender discrimination because that doesn't make any sense because that's their life. Let them live and let them grow and then they'll decide what they want to become. Then we'll go up with the Mona's delivery being done with a vacuum cleaner. Yes, at the end of the movie, Rancho himself said that the pressure might be high, so we cannot do the delivery. But at the end, they managed to do the delivery. But that is somehow that you cannot do on regular or a daily basis whenever there is an emergency. So that is also illogical that they got up the whole setup and then they cut the wall. They made the vacuum cleaner with that pressure and controlled that pressure. Then we would go that Rancho takes scooter inside the hospital. Like obviously that is also very illogical. You have nurses, you have guards around the hospital which might take you inside through stretcher. However, how much is the emergency, everybody will be there to help you, but taking away a vehicle inside the hospital is something very much inappropriate to do. Though that is a movie, that is why they had the chance to do. Inspire, if we would have been there, they wouldn't have allowed us to do that. Then the last comes when the motionless newborn responds to a goodwill chant of all is well. When Rancho gave a birth, Mona gave a birth, Rancho removed the baby. The baby was not responding. But then suddenly Rancho realized that we'll say all is well and that baby would kick and the baby would cry, which is obviously very illogical. No, none of the baby would obviously do that. कि अगर हम all is well बोलेंगे तो baby respond करेगा. As shown in the previous movie also, like in the same movie, they showed that all is well बोलने पे वो kick मारता है. Like what? Okay, let's do that. Then we'll do also in that tactical way. So that is also very illogical. So yes, this is what we could conclude, that the movie was good, but the fun parts, whatever was there in the movie, was all irrational. The rational ones were very helpful, and the friends, the main part of the friends was to help each other. So yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Please give them a big hand, proper big hand, everybody. I would like to see everybody clapping, please. Or for camera pe aa jao. Everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
अनुभव, good to see you on camera. आपकी शक्ल पहली बार दिखी है मुझे, ऐसा लगता है. Yes, na? Okay, so audience, give me some inputs, and I really love the presentation, especially the beliefs part. Rational and irrational beliefs was done very well. I really appreciate the fact that you brought out the irrational beliefs, because Bollywood movies में बहुत मिलेगा ऐसा, कुछ हर चीज को ऐसा करेंगे ही वो लोग. So definitely कितना भी अच्छा logical movie हो, पर उसमें ये अपना डालते ही है वो irrational part. So those were really brought out well. In fact, that reminds me of a YouTuber. He kind of roasts all movies. पुराने especially जो movies है ना, उसका इतना अच्छा comedy वो बनाता है. I don't know if any of you have watched his.
Ma'am, is the YouTuber Indian?
Yes, Indian.
I think I have seen his videos. Like one was a review of Salman Khan's one movie. I think I have seen one of his videos.
Yes, if time permits, I will show a couple of videos of his. It's really damn funny, and also very. And he is not a like just he will do it for the sake of fun. पर वो बहुत अच्छे से message भी समझाता है. Not only in his roast video, पर उसका अलग से बनाता है वो, जिसमें explain करता है कि what was his logic. So अगर उसका आप देखोगे ना, तो जो कुछ movies जो आपने बहुत अच्छे आपको पसंद आएगी, उसमें भी आपको दिखेगी कि वो जो चीजें जो typical Bollywood का angle रहता है ना, कॉमेडी का, कॉमेडी लगेगा आपको, जो बनाने वाले हैं उनको नहीं लगता, वो ठीक लगता है उनको. So that angle was brought out very well. Audience, a few inputs from you before we end the session and take the break. Shivam?
I liked about the presentation that they have kept very new observation like delivery by the vacuum. So this is the very sharp observation in the movie which they have
Yeah,
find.
even in that movie, some movies like this, when they show a kind of a love interest wala angle, was actually uski koi zarurat hi nahi thi. I don't think that the role that Kareena Kapoor played was even needed in that movie, something like that. So ये चीजें ऐसे ही डाली जाती है just because to make the
Just for an entertainment, ma'am. Exactly.
for entertainment. So that was good observation by them. In fact, वो scooter लेके अंदर आना, the delivery wala scene is a very very illogical and irrational one.
Ma'am, one more thing was there. They have observed the locations of the movie where the movie was shot, and they kind of tried to send a message also that they faced difficulties in the movies while shooting also. But then also the journey continued, and till the end everything happened good.
Yeah, yes, the angle of behind the scenes वाला also कि क्या क्या effort लगा है वो भी लिया था, which I remember I had asked you all to do it, and वो भी आप लोगों ने किया है, which is very nicely done. Yes.
Also,
मॅम
ma'am,
बेंगलोर
But
को
I
बुक
got
करने
to
में भी
know.
एफर्ट लगा होगा ना मैम?
हाँ
मैम बेंगलोर में शूटिंग हुई थी ना पूरी मूवी की,
हाँ.
तो वहां पे भी शूट करने में एफर्ट लगा होगा.
Ma'am, I want to also add some points. First of all, I would like to congratulate the team. It was very wonderful presentation, very neatly done as well. So, ma'am, one more thing, just a trivia. The life of scientist that was played by Amir Khan in the end, Fung Suk Wangru, who actually is based on a scientist who is based from Ladakh. His name is Sonam Wangchuk, if I'm not wrong. And I really, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So when I studied the same and I got to know about the same, I was really impressed by the fact that Vidhu Vinod Chopra took this initiative and let people know that there is someone like this who is staying in that remote part of Ladakh where there is nothing, no amenities. So yes, this film was a marvelous one, and the presentation also. It was a treat to the eyes as well.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you, Gaurav.
And Shivang, what were you
Thank you,
saying? I
everyone.
didn't know that ये पूरा movie I am Bangalore में shoot हुआ है. In
Yes,
fact,
Ma'am,
ma'am, all the college.
the hostel part
मैम
and
वो
all those.
कॉलेज डेज हाँ
hostel part पर वो
मैम
जो
वो
हाँ,
टंकी भी वहीं पे है.
Yes, ma'am.
because I remember ये जो दूसरा है चेतन भगत का जो वो था अर्जुन कपूर वाला, that is an IIM thing.
Yes, ma'am. That is two state. It was I am Ahmedabad.
And even I don't know 5 point someone जो है उसमें कितना relate होता है. I don't read it.
It was a bit controversial during that time because Chetan Bhagat and Rajkumar, they involved in some sort of controversy.
Yeah, there was some controversy because he kind of alleged that उन्होंने मेरे book को ही उठा के बनाया है, पर इन लोग ने बोला हम लोग ने कुछ और किया है. So I don't know because I have not read that book, so we don't know कितना है उसमें similarity. But there must be something. There is no smoke without fire, of course. Okay.
Mama, and how Siley started the part, that was really nice. It was a very good start to the presentation.
Yes.
Thank you.
So very well executed one. I think even all the presentations, all the movies that you have selected, I think hard work has gone into it. That is visible. So thank you, Anuj. अभी थोड़ा stress कम मुझे शक्ल पे आपके दिखना चाहिए. अभी presentation हो गया तुम्हारा. Audience का role थोड़ा और अच्छा वाला आना चाहिए आपकी तरफ से next class में. ठीक है? जो लोग चला जाएगा क्लास में से वीडियो पे नहीं रहेगा, रिमेंबर उनके प्रेजेंटेशन पे क्रॉस लगने वाला. ये बात याद रखो सब लोग. Okay, see you at 3:30.
Ma'am, in the next session, can our group go first? Like in the
Avinash?
next session.
Next
In the next
session
session.
अपन ने जो सीक्वेंस बनाया है ना अनुज, तो गौरव, यशा, आकांक्षा का एनीवेज हो गया, तो
Ma'am,
गौरव का
Yasha is
ग्रुप
in
नेक्स्ट
our
जाएगा.
group.
हाँ,
अच्छा, oh, that is the group leaders' names.
गौरव, फिर यशा, फिर अविनाश.
Okay.
आपका कौन सा ग्रुप है इन दोनों में? हो क्या?
Yes, ma'am. Second, Yasha on.
यशा वाले ग्रुप है ना, तो गौरव के ग्रुप का पहले होगा, फिर
Excuse me,
यशा,
ma'am.
और फिर we will figure out.
Ma'am, can we
Sequence.
go first?
Ma'am, Vidya has trained in on 6 p.m. So that's why we would like to go first.
कौन सा है
Abhishek
ये
group.
ग्रुप?
Abhishek
गौरव
group.
वाला कि यशा वाला?
Yesa wala, ma'am.
यशा वाला ग्रुप.
Yes, ma'am.
गौरव, you okay? इन लोग को एक रिक्वेस्ट है because Vidya has a train.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's a section after all.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. See you all at 3:30.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.